And Powers tried to respond, but it just didn't work.
Davison, number 8, Gabby Stevens.
Number 8 subbed in for number 16, Emma Harris.
Emma Harris.
Number 8 definitely is gonna show Powers who's boss.
And Jenna Sales
and a hit
serves
from
it.
Jenna Sales, and it's Davison's point. What an ace right there.
Yeah, Cards are up by 10, making it 20-10. Cards are doing great just in this first set.
Jenna Sales getting the ball again, and she hits it, and it's out.
So I was talking to the coaches earlier, and these girls have played in club, like in a club game before, and they definitely know what they're gonna do.
Definitely.
So they're trying not to predict each other.
A respond by number 1, set up by number 5, and a hit from Gabby Stevens. But sadly it was out of bounds, giving Powers the point. But yes, as you said, they do have the teams do have a history with each other, playing in clubs together. And we talked to the coach earlier, the Powers coach, and he definitely said that he remembers Jenna Sales, and an attempted hit by Gabby Stevens, but responded quickly. And a hit by number 12 on Powers' side, giving them the point.
That was a close save.
Definitely.
With Brooklyn Wilcox hitting it, but it just so happened it went so far out of bounds that Morgan King couldn't go save it.
The two teams do have a bit of a history, though, so it's definitely a personal game between them. Jenna Sales has a big history with the Powers coach, so he was saying earlier how she's probably going to get a point and then just smirk at him.
Yeah, looking back at him.
A respond by 15, Morgan King, set up by number 5. And an attempted hit by Addison Dunning, but it just doesn't go over the net.
Sadly could not get through that wall.
It doesn't get over the net.
Yeah.
Powers serving.
That ball was ready for Powers.
Number 7, responded by 14, Addison. And a quick hit by number 12.
Number 12, Madison Smith from Powers.
Definitely showing off this game.
She is a sophomore. And I said earlier, the coach said that his sophomores are planning on showing up this game against the seniors and then against Davison.
Set up by number 5. And a hit from Addison Dunning, giving Davison the point.
Addison is super strong. She has showed up. Just for being a freshman on varsity, she has been so good on this team. She's definitely shown up some leadership, some power towards this team.
It is amazing what she can do as a freshman.
Number 3, tipping it over.
Set up by number 1, and a hit from Morgan King, and it's Davison's point.
And sadly, Powers was not able to respond, making a wall against Morgan King.
Still serving for Davison, number 2.
And Morgan King has been playing since the 7th grade. Like, majority of these girls, they've been playing for a long time, since middle school.
And a hit from 15.
And that was a fake on Powers.
It touches Davison's wall, but it goes out of bounds, so it's Powers' point.
Yeah. And as we said last game, they won within the 3 first sets. So they did amazing against the Midland Chemics.
Absolutely. I was there myself, and I just saw absolute incredible. A save from 1.
That was a
5
great
tossed
dig
it over to
Chloe
Powers.
Wright.
And they could not make it through Davison's wall. 5 setting it up, and 15 Morgan King delivering it to the Powers side. A tip attempt. And it's Davison's point. What an amazing play right there by Davison. Blocking it and then Powers attempting, but just couldn't make it.
Yeah, you see some powerful walls in there. Like for Davison and
especially from those
Powers.
3 seniors, amazing.
Wilcox.
Especially when you have a 3-wall block, it's hard to get through that.
They couldn't respond to Brooklyn's strong serve.
And Cards is 24 points, and Powers is 16.
Just one more point for Davison to end off this set. And a strong serve from 1. Set up by, hit by 15. And Davison could not respond.
Brooklyn sadly could not dive to get underneath that ball to get it up in the air. She will she'll try next time.
Serve from
She's
15
a
on
libero.
Powers. Responded by 15, Morgan King. Set up by number 5. And Morgan King delivers it to Powers. What a strong strike right
And
there.
that makes it 25. That's the first set for Davison. Davison takes it by a
Definitely.
lot, by 8 points. So now we're
And
gonna
we're
go
going to
ahead
toss
and
things over to Michaela Herrick on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Tonight is senior night for the volleyball team tonight. And there are only 5 games left until the end of the season, and they are not wasting a second in this season. The seniors this season are number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox, number 5, Jenna Sales, number 8, Rachel Glanton, number 9, hold on. Number 8, Gabby Stevens, number 15, Morgan King, number 16, Emma Harris. I will send it back to the announcers.
that gets set.
Second set, Davison has had a strong first set. With all the seniors getting playtime, definitely showing off for YZ.
And another person who got a lot of playtime was Addison Dunning, who was a freshman. She has been doing good this year. She was a floater on JV and varsity, but she's really showed up at practice, challenging some of the seniors, challenging some of the other players against their moves, and seeing how much she's improved against everyone else. She's been doing real good, so she's been put on varsity because she's shown up this year.
It's definitely really impressive to see Addison Dunning really show off and really prove to her team that she deserves to be here.
Yeah.
That she deserves a spot on varsity. The crazy thing is, we keep on talking about Powers having such a young team, but Addison Dunning is a freshman on varsity.
Yeah.
Which is such a big thing.
And usually on varsity, you do not see freshmen a lot.
Not often.
And she has really shown up that she can prove to be on varsity. She has shown up. And as you see on Powers has a few sophomores here and there, but they have a lot of juniors and only 4 seniors, making them a very young team. Just because they're a younger team doesn't mean they're not strong. They are super strong with their hits and their blocks and everything. And same with Davison. Davison has really strong blocks and hits, but sometimes with a younger team, sometimes it's just better.
Number 5, Jenna Sales serving for Davison to start off the second set. Served by number 5.
And dig. Madison Smith tried to tip over, but she sadly was not able to get it. And that sadly did not make it over the net. And that's already giving Cards a 2-point lead against Powers.
Cards is really not their SPs. And I think that is because of their history together. Their times that they played clubs together. So I really think that Davison knows who they're going up against.
So, as you see, ooh, that was a... So about to start another serve. Jenna Sales cutting it over, and Powers tries to save it. And that hit her desk.
Okay. You can't hear me at all? Okay.
And that sadly
You keep
hit
it.
her desk. So as you see, Powers number 3, Ellen Sadarcher serving. And that was, and number 5 hit it over. Number 5. And number 12 is Ryan Garrett. Number 2, who is Chloe Wright, who is a junior. They're doing great. In that 5-point lead, Cards with 0.6 and Powers with a 1 point, and they're in the second set.
Okay, it's not in preview.
7 goes for a tip, and it's out of bounds. Chloe Wright serving again for Davison.
Serving for Davison, number 2, Chloe Wright. Timeout.
Timeout by Powers.
And Powers took a timeout. So it's gonna be a minute timeout. And these Cards are not to mess around. Just because they're an older team doesn't mean they cannot show up in this game.
Definitely. I think both teams are really showing up and proving their potential, especially Powers with such a young team, mostly being.
With 30 seconds left in the timeout, Cards have a 6-point lead against Powers. So 20 seconds left. Powers is still talking the game out with everything they have on their hands. They definitely want to win this next set or the set after that, but they need to make it up right now.
This might be another quick game like the Midland Chemics.
I'm going to put them together.
Number 2, Chloe serving for Davison. And a serve from number 2, Chloe Wright, responded by number 5 on the power side, set up by number 3, and a tip by number 7. Set up by number 5, and a hit from number 2, Chloe Wright, responded by number 5 on the power side, and a hit from number 12, which gives Powers the point.
They sadly were not able to save that.
Number 12, Madison Smith, is really showing it to the Cards. Only being a sophomore, too, this is really impressive.
And her position is usually a middle blocker. She's doing really good.
She's really showed up as a blocker and also a tipper and hitter for Powers, getting them a lot of points.
And there
Gabby Stevens hits it over the power side. And a hit from number 15, but it's out. So it's Davison's ball again.
Here comes out Rachel Glatton, number 9.
Switching out for number 10, Abby Lachana.
Rachel Glatton is a senior. She is usually a middle right.
And another tip by number 12. Foul on Powers' side, giving Davison the point.
Cards has a 7-point lead with Cards with 9 points and Powers with 2.
Serving number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox on the Davison side. And a strong serve. Set up by number 3. Hit by number 8 on power side. Set up by number 5 on Davison. And hit by Morgan King. Did you see that?
Yes. And sadly, Powers was not able to pick up that ball and return it back.
That was such a strong hit by Morgan King. She has really shown herself off to the Powers Chargers. And a serve by number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox. And
oh, they're saving it.
Number 7 hits it over. Set up by number 5.
And there
and
goes
a hit by number 8, Gabby Stevens, but it's sadly out of bounds, giving Powers the point.
Davison's still up, though, by 7 points.
Davison is surely bringing their A game to this game. And the seniors for senior night are really proving themselves. 15, Morgan King responding to the serve, hit by number 9.
That was a good
and
dig.
Powers having to chase after the ball, but they are not able to catch up. Number 16, Emma Harris switching out for number 8, Gabby Stevens.
So Emma Harris, like I said before, this is her first year on varsity. She is setting the ball already.
What a strong serve from her for her first time too. Her first year too.
She's already had a year on this team.
Oh, my apologies.
No, it's okay.
Respond by number 5 and a set by number 3 and a hit by number 8. Set up by number 5 on Davison's side, and it's hit by number 9.
And Rachel Glatton
Powers was not
tried to
expecting.
tip it over. She tried to tip it over on Powers, and it worked.
They did not expect it one bit.
Yeah. Powers sadly was not able to save
Served by
it.
number 16, Emma Harris. Ooh, a hit over, but it's out of bounds.
And that was done by number 7, Adriana Gurlo, who is a senior and outside hitter for Powers.
Subbing in for Powers, number 4.
One of their few seniors.
Yeah.
Serving for Davison, 16, Emma Harris again. A strong serve. Set up by number 3, and a hit by 14. Set up by 5 on Davison's side, and a hit from Morgan King. And again, we see the powerful strikes from Morgan King.
And they're cheering it on, making it a great time, and making it fun.
Timeout, Powers.
So now they're in another timeout. Powers taking out another timeout just for this game.
Powers is really feeling the heat from Davison.
So for Powers being a young team, last year they had 2 hitters graduate, so it's a young team with each other.
Really, a lot of the thing is, those 2 hitters, they really relied on them, and they were a really big, crucial part of the Powers team. So going into this season, they've really had to get used to being such a young team and having to develop a strategy for that.
And plus, with next year, they'll have all these most likely we'll have all these players plus new players, minus a few seniors.
And their experience from this season is really going to help them next season. Ooh.
Giving Davison the point. Being Cards with 16 points and Powers with 3.
Emma Harris, number 16, serving again.
Setting it. Now Powers, number 8, trying to hit it over.
Olivia
Chloe
Wright responds. And a tip by number 9. And another point for Davis, and Powers just could not get the ball over the net.
So Emma Harris is going to serve it back over to Powers.
Ooh.
And that's number 1, Anna Stafford on the Powers team, who is a junior and a middle blocker.
But what a strong hit from her.
It was sadly out of bounds.
Davison was not ready for that.
But Powers is going to be able to get that hit. And Powers did get the point for that. Card sadly did not get the point.
Powers switching out 2 players on their team.
Number
14 for number 16. And number 2.
Lauren Start. And number 16, who is Amila Morse. For number 14, who is Emily Kennedy.
Anna serving. Ooh, respond by Brooklyn Wilcox. And a kick from 5.
And that was a great save.
What a save by Brooklyn Wilcox.
From Brooklyn Wilcox, Jenna Sales, and Chloe Wright. That was a great save. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use their foot in the game, but that was a great quick thinking from Jenna Sales.
Absolutely.
It definitely worked.
Surprised by that. Just kicking the ball, but it works. It really did.
The entire team finds it funny that Jenna Sales just kicked the ball to save it, but it worked out in her favor.
And a tip by number 9, which gives Davison the point. Davison with a 13 lead right now. Davison is really showing off their colors.
Number 2 just got tagged out for number 12, who is Ryan Garrett, who is a sophomore on this team. And it looks like it's only sophomore for Davison.
Ooh. Powers could not get through Davison's wall of 9 and 12. And it's out. Davison gets another point, making it 19-5.
Morgan King is going to serve it back over the net to Powers.
And a set by number 2. And number 10 tips it over. Set by number 5 on Davison's side. And a hit from number 9.
And Davison gracefully broke through that wall of number 1, who is Anna Stafford, who is a junior and middle blocker on the Powers team.
Another serve by Morgan King. Oh, and sadly cannot go over the net.
It sadly did not go over the net. And number 9 is switching out for number 10. Number 10 is Elias Biza, and number 9 is Lauren Harold.
And number 4 switched out for number 7 on Powers' side. And a serve from Powers, set by 5. Ooh, and an attempt by number 9 to hit it over, but it just couldn't break through Powers' wall.
Rachel sadly was not able to get through that wall.
But I do not think this will slow any of the seniors down one bit. They still have so much energy.
Rachel kind of dug down a little bit there to not get her face hit by the ball.
And it worked out because it went out of bounds. So now Rachel gets to serve for Davison. Davison with a lead of 14
points.
That is, I had to think about that for a second. That's a lot. And it's out of bounds going towards our camera people.
Just because they're a young team doesn't mean they're strong. They have been hitting great and strongly, but they sadly have been hitting out of bounds.
Served by number 9. Set up by number 2. And a hit by number 7. Set up by 5. And a hit from 9. Set up by 2. Oh, Davison's point.
And that rally was cut off short from the refs. But that gave Davison the point, making Rachel to serve again.
Going into the third set, and Davison already is showing off their power.
They're doing great.
And a hit by 15, Morgan King, and it's ooh, and a tip, set up by 5, and a hit by 12. Morgan recovered it though, and a hit from 12 again. But this time, Powers cannot respond to it.
That was a great hit from number 12, who was Ryan Garrett. Like I said earlier, she is the only sophomore on the Davison team. We only have 1 freshman and 1 sophomore. The rest of the team consistency of mostly juniors and 6 seniors.
Ooh.
And they sadly...
And they could not respond to the ball, ending the second set with 25 Davison and 7 Powers.
That was a huge win again for Davison. And we'll see if they can do it again in the third set.
Hopefully, because if so, this is going to be another quick game for Davison, just like last week with the Midland Chemics.
Yeah.
Davison's having a little fun in their huddle.
And Davison's student section is having a little grand old time with this music, dancing side along. And we're going to go ahead and send it to Michaela on the sideline.
Go. For any fans that want to come out and support our cards, on October 6th, it's going to be at 7 p.m. away at Saginaw High School. And then on October 8th, it's going to be at 9 a.m. right here at home at 7 against Saginaw Heritage. I'll see you guys after the third set.
And we're back, Davison. Going into the third set, Davison has really showed off their power and strength to Powers.
I hear the entire gymnasium right now singing to the song and having a great old time. I can even see Davison right now dancing around, singing, and having a grand old time as I see Powers talking about their next moves, what they're gonna do in the third set, and how they're gonna hopefully get it set in their underneath their belt.
Powers is gonna have to make a big comeback, or else Davison is gonna end this quickly.
Oh, I
Davison's
see.
student section is
getting
really
hyped.
hyped.
This song is getting them.
Just giving a ton of energy to the Davison team. Jenna Sales giving high fives to all her team members.
And Jen Sales is the only senior with 3 years on varsity underneath her belt. She has been practically playing volleyball since she was a baby because her mom, Tiffany Sales, is the coach of the varsity team. She is the main setter of this team.
I think that's really I think volleyball is just part of her life, and it's like so important to her. And she really shows off for all those years with the just adaptability and power and strength and everything she brings to the Davison team. And a hit from number 12, but sadly it cannot get over the net.
her hand slipped or something on the ball. Her hit was not that good just now.
Serving for Powers, number 2, Lauren Starr.
Hitting it over.
And a serve from Powers, responded by 15, Morgan King. And a hit from number 10, Abby Lachana, which is sadly out of bounds, so it gives Powers the point.
And Powers already has a 2-point lead just for the start of the set. And Lauren starts
Respond by
setting it over.
15. Hit from 12, redeeming herself this time, making it all the way to the ground. No resistance from Powers.
And Emma Harris just got tagged out by Gabriella Stevens, number 8.
Davison is not messing around, putting some of their stronger players in. Hit from 14.
And that
It's in. It's barely in, so it gives Power the point. Serving for Powers, number 14, Emily Kennedy, who is one of Powers' few seniors. And respond by 12 on Davison's side, set up by 5, and a hit from Gabby Stevens. And respond by 15, Morgan King, but sadly it's out of bounds and goes into Davison's student section.
And our student section was able to catch it for our team. But now the serve is staying over at Powers, and number 14, who is Emily Kennedy, a senior.
Responded by number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox, and just tipped over Abby Lachana, and it gives Davison the point. Number 2, Chloe Wright, subbing out for number 12, Ryan Garrett.
Lauren Starr, number 2 on the Powers team, had a great dig there trying to save the ball, but she sadly could not. They're now getting set up.
Chloe Wright with a big history of powerful serves. Gets ready to serve for Davison.
And Cards with 2 points down right now, with 2 and 4.
But with the first
to
2 sets under their belt, I'm sure that they can come back from this.
And there's something happening with the point system right now. They're hopefully going to get it fixed. They're going to see what they're talking about.
2, 11, 12, 14, 4, 1. Wrong server.
So something happening with their lineup. And you can see Morgan King and Chloe Wright having some grand old time on the court, playing rock, paper, scissors.
During their downtime, they're definitely having fun and bonding as a team, which I think really helps.
And Powers just lost 2 points.
Making an even playing field between Davison and Powers.
They had their setup wrong, which cost Powers 2 points, sadly, in the 3rd set. And you can hear our student section screaming, getting ready for this game to continue on. To see
Number
our
2,
team
Chloe
serve.
Wright, finally getting ready to serve that ball. And she serves it. Responded by number 5 on Power side, set up by number 2. And an attempted hit by number 10, but she must have slipped on the ball because she did not get that over the net.
I bet she hit it with just the tip of her fingers trying to hit it, but she sadly missed it.
That must be so irritating, being that close to hitting it and just missing. Hit by number 2. Number 2 on Power side, setting it up. Number 14 trying to hit it, but it just does not go over the net again.
That was a great wall between Morgan King and Abigail Lachana, number 10 and number 15.
And don't forget number 8, Gabby Stevens. She's playing a crucial role in Davison's team. Set up on number 2, and an attempted hit by number 10.
Wall.
But another wall between Gabby and Abby.
I've seen some great walls here for Davison and
Definitely.
even for Powers.
These blockers know what they're doing.
Making sure the ball doesn't get through those fingers and through that wall.
Number 2, Chloe Wright serving. And Powers could not respond.
Chloe Wright has some great serves this game. Let's see another serve for her.
Another serve. Set up by number 2. And a hit from 14. But she could not get it over the net, giving Davison another point. Number 12 for Powers. Madison Smith switching in for number 6.
Brooklyn Nas, who is a junior.
Number 6, Nas serving. Responded by number 1, Wilcox. And a hit from 15, Morgan King.
And number 5, Abby Jones was tabbed out, but we sadly did not see who.
Number 5 sets it up for Morgan, but Morgan cannot get it over the net.
That was a great wall for number 1, Anna Stafford, and number 14, Emily Kennedy on the Powers team.
Set up by number 5, and a hit from 15, Morgan King. Set up by number 2 on Powers this side. Hit from number 6, responded by number 1, Wilcox. Set up by 5, and a hit from Gabby Stevens. That gives Davison the point.
And number 10 and number 9 is switching. Number 9 is Rachel Glatton, and number 10 is Abigail Lachana. Abigail Lachana has been playing for a lot of the game, but she's been doing great today.
Serving for Davison, number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox. What a great serve that was, too. Powers just could not respond to it.
Number 10, Ellie Sabeza. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Another serve from number 1. Set up by number 2 on Powers this side, but it's Davison's point. Oh, my bad. Powers' point. Nope, I was right the first time. It was Davison's point.
Davison is 9 and Powers is 4, making Cards have 5 over.
Ooh, Brooklyn Wilcox's serve barely making it over the net. Number 5, Jenna sets it up. Morgan absolutely hits it over the net, but Powers is able to respond. Number 2, Chloe Wright. Number 15, Morgan King, hitting it over the net, and Powers could not respond. Number 5 tried, but she just could not.
And number 5 is Abby Jones, who is a junior. She tried to get it out, but it sadly was too powerful for her, so she had to hit it out.
Number 1, Brooklyn Wilcox with another strong serve. An attempted tip by number 1 on Powers' side, but they could not get it over. Davison with a strong setup right now, going into a timeout.
Powers is going into another timeout. Cards with 11 points and Powers with 4. That is a great lead for Cards already, just in this third set.
They really made a comeback, too, because at the beginning, Powers was just really showing it off to Davison, but Davison's making a comeback. But with the first 2 sets going to Davison, I don't know if this game is going to last too long.
By looking at the points right now, I feel like Davison is definitely gonna pull out a win here.
But we can never guess anything too early, especially with Powers.
Just because they're a young team doesn't mean anything.
They've really shown some strength for being such a young team, like we said.
Now you definitely got some points against Davison.
Davison going back into the game with almost a full team, a full set of seniors currently on the court. A serve from number 1, Wilcox. And a tip by I think that was number 8 on Powers' side, but it does not matter because Davison gets it over and gets the point for Davison, making it 12-4 currently.
So there are 5 seniors out on this court right now and 1 junior out of the 6.
Number 10 on the Power side, hitting it over to Davison. Set up by number 5 and a hit by number 15, Morgan King. Morgan King has really shown herself off this game. She's really shown the strength and power that she has in those hits.
Yes. And Morgan King has been playing since 7th grade, which is a long time since middle school.
Definitely. I think that really prepared her for the varsity games.
And I believe Morgan King also plays for clubs like Arsenal and everything. So that also trains her more. It makes her practice more for volleyball.
Absolutely.
Number 15, Faith Matter.
Serving for Powers, number 3, Ellen Starscher.
Number 2 and number 15 got switched. Number 15 being Faith Matter.
Olivia
and
Wright
number 2, Lauren Stark.
responds. And a hit from 15. Morgan King, another strong hit. Oh,
Had it up nice and high.
Davison's point. What a strong hit from Morgan King again.
Emma
I feel
Harris
like a
going in
broken
for
record.
Gabrielle Stevens, number 8. That was number 16. Emma Harris now serving.
Number 3 setting it up for Powers. Brooklyn Wilcox responding. 15, another strong hit. I feel like a broken record over here, just over and over. Morgan King serving these strong hits to Powers, getting Davison some points.
And Powers tried to get the dig on it, but sadly could not save it.
Emma Harris 16 for Davison serving, and she could not make it over the net.
And Cards with points of 15 and Powers with points of 6.
Giving them the Cards a 9-point lead.
That's a crazy lead.
A setup by number 5 and a hit from number 15, Morgan King, but sadly it is out of bounds.
And for winning districts last year, the Davison team definitely has to show up.
Especially after so many amazing. Oh, another strong hit from Morgan King. Number 2 swapping out for number 12.
In for Davison,
Number 12 being Ryan Garrett, and number 2 being for Chloe Wright.
Number 15 serving for Davison. And a strong serve for Davison. And a hit by number 8. And it's Davison's point.
I can see over here on the sidelines the Davison team watching eagerly as they see their seniors be really good at this game.
A strong serve from 15, Morgan King. Powers' own number 15 hitting it over to Davison's side. Davison makes a attempt to get it over the net, but just doesn't make it.
Morgan King really tried to save it there by doing a roll, and then Jenna Sales tried to dive for it too, but they were not able to save it.
Number 1 on Powers' side, Anna Stafford serving. Davison responded with Morgan King, and it's hit by number 9. Sadly, it's Powers' point though.
The Cards now has 17 points, and Powers has 9. They're showing up right in this third set, getting a lot more points than they did in the other 2.
They're really making a comeback. Oh, but the serve goes into the net, giving Davison the point.
And number 5 switches out for number 1 on Powers. Number 1 being Anna Stafford, and number 5 being Abby Jones, their libero.
Number 9 on Davison's side serving. Number 8 responds, sending it over to Davison's side. Number 15, Morgan King responds. A tip by number 10, Abby Lachana.
They were waiting to see that hit, but she just tipped it over and made them shocked and gave Cards the point.
I think Abby Lachana has really shown her strength this game, even for being a junior in a team that has relied a lot on seniors. And a point for Powers.
And Rachel Glatton, number 9, switches out from Brooklyn Wilcox, number 1, their libero.
Brooklyn cannot stay off the court for too long. And a serve from 15, Powers, responded by 16, Davison. And a tip from 5. Giving Davison another point.
Number 8, Gabriella Stevens, and number 16, Emma Harris switched out. And for Brooklyn Wilcox, she's been playing since the 3rd grade. And this is her only second year. This is her second year or 3rd year on varsity.
Similar to Jenna Sales, Brooklyn Wilcox has just had a very long history with volleyball, and has really shown that in this season. A serve from number 5, Jenna Sales, set up by number 3, and a hit by number 8 on Powers' side. Morgan King tries to go for a dig, but it goes out of bounds. An amazing attempt by Davison, it just wasn't enough.
They tried their hardest to especially get that ball up in the air, but they sadly could not save it.
Number 8 for Powers, Maria Thompson serving, set up by number 5, and a hit from number 12 on Davison's side. Hit from 8 on Powers. Abby and Ryan thought they had the wall secured, but sadly it wasn't enough. Serve from number 8 on Powers' side, responded by Ryan Garrett. And a hit from Gabby Stevens. A setup by number 3 on Powers, a hit by number 10. Another setup by 5, and a hit from Morgan King.
They were waiting for that hit for Gabriella Stevens, but they did not. She was setting up her hit, and then she just tipped it over.
As soon as I saw Morgan King jump into the air, I knew it was going to be a big hit.
Number 2, Chloe Wright, switching in for Ryan Garrett, number 12.
Attempted hit by number 10 on the Powers' side, but it does not go over the net, giving Davison the point. Davison 23 to Powers' 12 right now. It looks like it might be a quick game for Davison. A serve from number 2, Chloe Wright. Oh, an attempted tip by number 3 on Powers' side. And a hit from 10 on Powers' side.
Making it out.
But it's out of bounds.
So making Cards points 24 and Powers 12.
Only 1 point away from a win for Davison.
And that is 12 points lead for Cards.
Oh, a tip from number 12 on Powers' side. Madison Smith.
Powers is really showing up in this game.
I think
Powers is showing up in this set with points of 13, better than all the other sets with 17 and 7.
Set up by 5. Hit by Morgan King, but sadly it's out of. Oh! That's the game. Wait. Nope. It's out of bounds. Ooh, that was so close.
Make the points 24 to 14.
Brooklyn Wilcox responding to the serve. Set up by 5. Hit by Morgan King. Set up by number 3. An attempted hit by Powers, but it does not make it over the wall that Davison made. Out of bounds.
And Davison sadly could not save it. Chloe Wright tried to, but she was not able. Brooklyn Wilcox was not able to get to the ball in time to save it.
They can't do it. Because the camera, it went down.
Set up by 5. And a hit by 8, Gabrielle Stevens. Which ends off the game.
With Davison 25 to 15 in that third set.
Final score, Davison 25, Powers 15. Davison wins the match 3 sets.
Davison.
That was the third set for Davison, and Davison won that game just within the 3 sets. Did not have to go to a 4th or 5th set.
Davison really showed their strength off this game. With mainly seniors playing, and they really showed to Powers what a strong team looks like, but that does not mean to undermine any of Powers' strength. For a young team, they really showed off to Davison. Not to underestimate them at all.
And the student section is showing some love to our volleyball team. They did a great job tonight. And Davison having a little huddle, talking about how great this game went for them. And seniors played a really good game. Majority of them being in the game 24/7. They all played really great today.
Absolutely. Both teams had a phenomenal showcase. So, but Davison just took out the game. I think that's a lot because of Powers' young team, but they're really just training each other up for next season when they get to show off as seniors.
And as you can see, Brooklyn Wilcox, Gabriella Stevens, Morgan King, Emma Harris, Jenna Sales, and Rachel Glenn have all played a great game tonight for being seniors. And tonight was their senior night and having a great time.
And we're going to toss things over to Michaela Herrick with an interview with Brooklyn Wilcox.
after this big win, even though you guys did lose to Mount Pleasant last week, how do you guys practice now? How do you guys keep that passion after loses?
We just have to stay strong and know that we have each other to keep us going through the next games.
And what's your plans for the rest of your senior season?
Just come out strong every single game and just keep the energy high and just keep winning.
And how does it feel that you have an offer from Ma? And does that really show that the hard work pays off?
Yeah, it does. It feels really good to know that, like being recognized, it feels really good.
Thanks, guys. I'll send it back.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up at this game or live. We'll hopefully see you guys another time, especially at our football game next week.
Yeah, going against Grand Blanc, that's going to be a big game. But thank you so much, Davison, for watching. That's it from us.
That is from us, Davison. Hope to see you next time.